The story behind the Tetris agreement is a saga of intrigue, misunderstandings, and commercial maneuvers that could rival the plot of any spy and money movie. It all started with the vision of Robert Stein, a seasoned software salesman who glimpsed the commercial potential of Tetris during a visit to Hungary in 1986 through his company, Andromeda Software. Stein was in the business of seeking out software from Eastern European countries to then sell them in the West. On one of those trips, he found the program installed on a computer in one of the offices where they offered him software. When he asked about the game they were playing while showing him other products, they told him that it was not owned by that company, but that it was a product that had come from the Soviet Union. Stein then tried to contact the institute where Alexei worked, the Soviet Academy of Sciences Computer Center. This center, composed of mathematicians, astronomers, physicists, and others, had no previous experience in marketing games. But on the other hand, let's remember that the institute and Alexei had signed an agreement to distribute the game, and that is how the game ended up in Hungary. The computer center sent Pajitnov to handle Stein's request. Stein sent a contract proposal where he wanted the rights to the game on present and future computers. According to Pajitnov, Stein proposed something like £100,000 in advance, to which Pajitnov responded, "Pay attention, this is important. Buy facts that the computer center was interested." This led Stein to believe that he had secured the rights to everything because in the West, according to the laws of the time, that meant that the deal was practically closed. With this, Stein began to knock on doors to sell his newly acquired game. He published some versions, but without much distribution capability. Companies like Broderbund and Mastertronic did not reach an agreement with Stein. For this reason, Stein turned to Mirrorsoft, a company based in the United Kingdom, headed by Robert Maxwell, and Representative Jim McConaughey signed an agreement to produce the game in the United Kingdom and the United States, and also to have its distribution potential throughout Europe. Mirrorsoft was a British video game development and publishing company active during the 1980s. Founded in 1982, Mirrorsoft was one of the leading software publishers in the UK at its peak. The company was known for its focus on publishing games for a variety of popular platforms of the time, including personal computers such as the ZX Spectrum, Commodore 64, and Amstrad CPC, as well as for video game consoles. Mirrorsoft was owned by Maxwell Corporation, the empire of Robert Maxwell, who saw in Tetris a possibility to make good business and cover some of the economic holes that the company had. On the other hand, Mirrorsoft had bought another company in the United States called Spectrum Holobyte and set out to distribute the game in the United States or license it to other companies like Atari for arcades or consoles. Mirrorsoft wrapped the game in red packaging to take advantage of the mysticism of Russia, and several games under Mirrorsoft's license spelled Tetris, either in Cyrillic transliteration, Tetris, or in fake Cyrillic typography with Yay representing the letter R, Tetris. As the launch approached, Mirrorsoft received a fax from Elektronorgtechnika from Russia, indicating that they were preparing to market the game illegally, since Elorg had not given them permission. Elorg was a government department established to deal with foreign trade in Russian software. That is to say, the institute where Alexei works was not the one who could or could not sell the game or its rights, but everything was owned by the Soviet Union and had to go through this Russian company called Elorg that is responsible for business with Russian software. When Stein met with Elorg on May 10, 1988, in Russia, he explained that he didn't even know they existed, but that he was willing to review the contract and sign whatever was necessary, because the game was already being published in Europe and the United States. Elorg, through its representative and director Nikolai Belikov, would be an important piece in the Tetris puzzle and the commercialization of its rights. Belikov made Stein sign a new agreement for the rights of the game, along with some improvements that went unnoticed to Stein. And that is that in the new contract, it was more clearly specified which was a computer and which was not, and left out of it other systems such as consoles, arcades, or portable consoles.